Good evening. Welcome to the Man Cave. Today it's Monday, and we're actually talking about the episodes from the Maul show on Monday. It's a little late in the evening. Sorry for that, but we just were able to get our schedules meshed, so we were able to watch them together. And my initial impression, as I was just saying, of the 8 episodes we've now seen, these are the 2 I am least impressed with. However, that bar is set so high that these are still phenomenal. It's just the least ever. Like I was telling Gabriel, I am more excited right now. When we're done with this, I'm going to watch the Maul episodes from Clone Wars where he's meeting his brother, which I'm more excited about than saying, hey, let's rewatch these 2 episodes. Whereas every other Monday or whatever day we watch, every time we've been able to watch one of these, I'm ready to be like, okay, that was awesome. Let's watch them again. Tonight, not so much. I feel like they're building up to something, and this is like we're building suspense and putting pieces in place, and they're kind of going in a lot of directions at once. As a matter of fact, I think episode 8 was the least amount of Maul we've seen.
I would agree with that.
What we did see was good.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of it, well, okay, let's
so
start with
we'll go in order,
7.
but first I want to just say about both episodes.
Yeah.
They do feel the most buildy. I think that's not a bad thing at all. Again,
No.
These are all amazing episodes. They're all fantastic.
But they can't all be the best, too.
They can't all be, yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's only because we're building to that, because next week is the finale.
Right.
So it has to be all building now, so that next week it's just all
I gotta say, I am surprised Daki is not dead. Spoilers, by the way, but I'm very surprised that Daki's still with us.
I'll say I agree, and then we can go back. Now let's go back and do it the episodes in order. So episode 7.
The episode 7 is called Call to Oblivion.
Call to Oblivion, yes.
So I was thinking somebody's gonna die, and again,
somebody did die.
I've been waiting for Daki to die this whole episode, or this whole series. Since we met him, I've been like, okay, he's gotta be dead soon. But while we were watching the episode, we were like, oh, hey, maybe they don't kill Daki this season. I was like, well, if they wrote this, and they didn't write this assuming they had a season 2, Daki has to die. If they wrote this assuming they were going to get a season 2, maybe he won't die.
Maybe they end season 1 with him. I think he dies. I think he has to die in season 1.
But when you say Call to Oblivion as your title, you expect to see more death than we saw. Now, stormtroopers, they're dying left and freaking right.
I'm not 100% certain that Call to Oblivion is about death.
Ah, okay.
I'm, not literal, more like the, spiritual, metaphysical. Because I think it's more in reference to the opening of this episode where we see the rest of that Inquisitor talking with Emperor.
Right.
And how, or presumably the Emperor or somebody he's talking to. Because
although it didn't have to be the Emperor.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been anybody. That's whatever.
Now, I have a question. You know more about the Inquisitors than I do.
I watched the video. I don't remember all their names, but I did watch the video on all the stuff.
I mean about how they work.
Okay.
The Grand Inquisitor is their boss.
Yeah.
They answer to Vader and the Emperor. But what's their hierarchy? Is the lower number the boss, or is the higher numbers the boss? Because in this episode, spoilery here, we have the 6th brother.
The 6th brother and the 1st brother.
But the 6th brother is who they send. Now, is this just this guy's backup, or is he here to take over?
I'm thinking it's backup, because also Merrick seemed to be in the lead during this stuff. There's no...
I'm just not sure what the hierarchy is.
With what we've seen, there's never been any clear, this over this. It usually, we've seen before, duos, we see, the 2nd sister and the 9th sister in, Jedi Fallen Order.
Right.
And the 2nd sister was more, in the lead. Because 9th was more of a muscly figure. But then in Rebels, it was the 7th sister and the 5th brother, and she was more in the lead because he was more muscly figure.
Okay.
So it kind of goes either way. There's no but they're all on the same totem pole.
Okay.
It just this person is more strategically minded, so they're the one taking charge. So
they're all troops, and they're just numbered so they know who the different ones are.
Yeah. Okay. So it's them, and then Grand Inquisitor,
right,
then Vader, then Emperor.
In Kenobi, when you have third sister?
The 3rd sister.
Yeah, the 3rd sister, when she kills the Grand Inquisitor, she becomes the Grand Inquisitor. She doesn't, not everybody moves up one, she just suddenly jumps to the front of the line.
Yeah, and I think that all of that was just
well, it was
like,
just, right.
It was all this. We're gonna call you that because we're gonna suck your ego so that you get.
They knew.
They all knew.
But what I'm saying is, if it had been everybody moves up one, then she would have when she killed him and everybody moved up, she would have become the second sister instead of the third sister.
Well, that was already a person.
But yeah, but then she would have been the first sister.
No, because there's a first brother.
Who would have then been the Grand Inquisitor. That's what I'm saying. If they move up one, they would all just move up ahead one. So.
I think that also be very confusing, because if you, like, let's say you have her across galaxy, you wouldn't know when, like, somebody dies.
Is there a hole, then?
Yeah, there's just a space.
They don't fill that spot?
No.
Okay.
Like, I'm sure there's, if there's another one that shows up, maybe they take that spot,
well,
I guess.
When Barriss was joining the Inquisitors...
We don't know what number Barriss is. We don't know.
They never call her by her...
We've never given a number.
Okay.
I watched, like, all 16 Inquisitors ranked, like, by power level or whatever, or, like, a video...
Is she even in that?
Yeah, she was in that, but it was, like, we don't know what number, so we're just going to put her at whatever number was empty.
Oh, okay.
Which was, like, I think, like, the 9th sister or something. Or no, it was like, the 13 or something. I don't know. Okay. I don't know what number it was. This doesn't really matter. It's all a mess.
But okay, sorry. I know we talked about not going off of into the grand Star Wars lore, and we were just going to talk about the episode. So let's go back to Call to Oblivion. Call to Oblivion starts
with the sixth brother showing up.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So the sixth brother, Merrick gets a call. Says, "Oh, they're here." So they go to find him. Meantime, Maul brings the two kids,
Riley and
to where
Devin.
his forces are gathering so they can leave the planet.
Mm-hmm.
We see it break. We see some dissension in the ranks, where some of the Mandalorians are more out for money, and some are there for honor, and still feel Maul is their leader because he was the last leader of Mandalore that they accepted. What?
The guy's name is Kreebus.
Whatever.
They name him in this one episode, and then he dies.
Right. So we see Maul's little team, and they're trying to, get to the shit. Then they start fighting because Devin wants to leave, and Maul's like, "Oh, you can't go, and the kids got to stay with us." And I'm showing you how this is going to go, and you can see their philosophies arguing. And in the meantime, she's trying to protect Riley, so she tells Riley to go hide behind some crates. Suddenly, the imps show up, right? And they've got 1, 2, 3 troop transports or something. All of a sudden, there's tons of stormtroopers where they were on making their exit, and so they're in this really beautiful part of the under area of the world. It's beautiful, and there's all this beautiful green and the old rusted pipes and everything. But so it's an awesome looking place, and all of a sudden, all these imps show up, and these guys are just tearing apart these imps. Talking about stormtroopers having bad aim, I don't think they hit anybody.
No,
at all.
Not once. And there was no cover on an open bridge.
They're standing on. There's one side here, one side here. It looked like some of the early Clone Wars stuff with the troops versus the clones, or with the robot guys versus the clones, and things were going back and forth.
Yeah.
But there wasn't like debris that they're hiding behind. There was nothing. They're standing there in a crossfire. Nobody's getting hit. As a matter of fact, everybody's got time to run away. Oh, here's a little trail. I'm gonna run to the ship. So you see that first little blue dude takes off. Then the 3 Mandalorian dudes take off. Then Maul is like, "Oh, there's 2 Inquisitors that are coming from behind us. I'm gonna go fight them." And they lead him away from his troops, and so that presumably the imps will then just come in and destroy everything. But they didn't realize they were fighting I don't know, that maybe they didn't realize how good Mandalorian fighters are. But it was slightly ridiculous that none of his crew gets shot or hurt or anything.
Well, the Mandalorians all have armor, all have Beskar, presumably.
The 3 steal the ship, and they're like, "Oh, see ya, Lady Cast," and they call her Lady Cast, which I thought was kind of cool. So they're flying away, and more imps come down and blow up their ship. It's like, okay, so the betrayers get killed because they didn't make it out of that. Maul has an incredibly cool fight with the 2 Inquisitors.
Yes.
He
leads one away. He leads Merrick off and then corners the 6th brother.
I really liked the fight there. I thought that was really cool. The different aspects of the lightsabers, the slow moving, the one fights one way, one fights the other way. Maul gets wounded. His leg gets screwed up again.
Well, that same leg. I think that's why he was able to get damage.
That's why I said again. But here we have the most interesting part of the whole thing. In order to buy time, Maul drops to his knees.
Uh-huh.
And surrenders, which I didn't think he had that in him at all.
He
I did not
faked
expect
it, but
that.
yeah.
But then the 2 Inquisitors confirm what we were all thinking anyway. There is no surrender for you. There is no mercy for you. The Emperor wants you dead. So they have been sent there to kill Maul, not to capture, not to take out, to kill. There is no wanted dead or alive. There's just kill him. I find that fascinating. I mean, that legitimizes everything we thought already, which brought up the question we were talking during the episode. Do you, and I asked, and I'll ask you guys, because I don't know if this has even been said in Star Wars lore. Were the Inquisitors originally created to hunt and kill Maul? And then it was like, oh, hey, some of the Jedi lived through the Purge, so we'll use these guys to go get them too. And maybe we can use these guys to bolster, some of the Jedi will bolster their ranks, and we'll keep getting Inquisitors. But the Emperor thought for a little while, and maybe still does, Maul is the biggest threat to him ever, right?
Yeah.
Because he's an apprentice that left. Apprentices don't leave. The rule of two says there's a master, there's an apprentice. The apprentice will rise up to kill the master, or the master will destroy the apprentice and get a new one, and there's only ever allowed to be two. Maul is a threat to that because he didn't die. Kind of like with Dooku and Ventress when he had to kill her because the Emperor said, okay, she's rapidly becoming your apprentice. There can't be a third. You got to kill it. So he did. Star Killer was, I mean, he's not even really in the lore, but when Darth Vader was doing that, he was like, this is a secret thing because you can't exist. Well, Maul...
And then Savage to Dooku and to Ventress also was that.
So, but Maul was the Emperor's secret apprentice for a long time. Then he was his official apprentice, and now he's supposed to be dead. And he has survived lots. His hatred has kept him alive, has kept him thriving, has kept him going, and the Emperor is now his target. He wants to destroy the Emperor. He wants to destroy what the Emperor has built up, and that's like in the background all the time. That's his. What did he say? He said we have a higher purpose or something when he was. We
feed a greater
destiny, greater destiny. For him, that great destiny is the destruction of the Emperor. Obi-Wan is a clear second. But the Emperor, because even, I don't want to go into too much of the outer Star Wars stuff, but remember when he dies?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan strikes him down and he says, he will avenge us.
Yeah.
Thinking that, we've both wasted our lives in this quest for this greater thing that the Force is supposedly brought to us. So in a way, he almost wants revenge against the Force, revenge against the life that he's had. So it's interesting.
Do you think, so, because presumably he doesn't know Obi-Wan's alive right now.
That could be true. I think if he knew Obi-Wan was alive, he might have tried to hunt him down.
Also, to your question of which was made, what if they're made for, it would depend on which one showed up first.
Well,
because...
Do you remember the wanted poster at the beginning of these episodes? They're like,
yeah.
This is Maul, you got to let us know when you see him.
Yes.
And it's like the protocol is, we're looking for Maul. It didn't say, you're looking for Force users, you're looking for Jedi. It was you're looking for Maul.
Yes, I understand that. But... Because people wouldn't run out Jedi that easily.
Well, yeah, the PR machine has already turned the Jedi into traitors to the Republic, right? I mean, that's...
Yeah, okay, my point is, because Maul was presumed dead, when Ahsoka also was presumed dead.
Why would there be posters looking for him?
Because presumably he's made an appearance before this.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing. So I'm saying it would either be when the first Jedi Survivor showed up, or when Maul first showed up. Whichever one first happened... is I'm like, we need people to deal with this because we don't want it.
That's a good way of thinking about it because as we've seen Daki mention, they're all hiding, right? They're doing the pacifist ways. Yoda took off. He's gone. He's hiding on Dagobah. Nobody knows he's there. Obi-Wan hiding out in a desert. We saw he doesn't even use the Force. He doesn't practice his stuff. He's losing his connection. Apparently all the Jedi are kind of doing it. No Jedi are standing up and saying, whoa, we're going to put down the Emperor. Maul is using his lightsaber, walking around, taking over criminal empires. I mean, he's active.
If every Inquisitor is numbered in order, you would think, right?
I would think that
like they wouldn't be like number one, the first brother, and now the fifth brother,
right?
And now the third sister. So that means that the second sister from Jedi Fallen Order is numbered already.
Yes.
But she is a Padawan taken from a Jedi Master who also survived the Purge.
Okay.
So, and that was when she was like a little Padawan.
Okay. So they know the Jedi have survived.
Jedi have already been known about before this.
But Jedi are just nameless, we want these Jedi.
We just want
Vader was on a hunt for Obi-Wan. We know that. And at this point in time, he's on his hunt for Obi-Wan, remember?
Yes.
Because in the Obi-Wan show, the Emperor says you have to let this go and show that I am your master, not Obi-Wan is your old master, and your hunt for him is taking precedence. I think that might be why the Inquisitors exist. Because Vader is so consumed with, I've got to hunt down and kill Obi-Wan, that's where he's putting his resources. So the Emperor's like, well, what about all these other guys and Maul? Or what about Maul and all these other guys? I need something else. So that's where the Inquisitors came. I mean, who knows? I don't know if that's explained somewhere. If it is, and you know, and you want to put in the comments, that'd be great. Or tell me what to look at, or read, or whatever. Or that would be kind of interesting, because we're questioning. We're like, hey, what about this? I found out about that Maul comic book that explains a lot of this storyline just from watching Screen Crush. You know?
Yeah, we get introduced to like the brothers and everything, and
right.
it's all like.
And I try not to go ahead because I don't want any spoilers for what I'm watching right now.
Yeah, I have not watched the video from today. I'm gonna watch it probably either tonight or tomorrow.
But I did watch that. He talked about that in one of the earlier ones.
He talked about that, I think, in everyone, because he re-mentions it.
He even talks about who these Zabrak brothers are. Speaking of, I got that wrong. One guy did die on Maul's team in episode 7. And that was one of the Zabrak brothers.
I do not don't know their names because
Icarus was one of them.
Icarus was
I don't know if that was the dead one or
screamed brother.
All right, so Icarus is one that didn't die.
Yes.
The other one died.
Yes.
Okay. And Icarus, to be honest with you, is the cooler of the two. I love the swords on his back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other guy had the minigun. The
minigun got shot and broke before he got killed.
And he was the guy that was healing, that helped Maul, that fixed Maul's leg.
That is true.
And he was the guy with the rocket launcher.
But he did not go out like a punk. He fought. He was helping fight Inquisitors.
He ran up and punched the guy.
That was pretty cool. He knocked him on the ground, and he turned around, and that's when he got the lightsaber.
Well, he ran up, started shooting him, got his thing cut, punched the 6th guy, punched the first guy, and then got stabbed through the back.
Yep.
That was cool.
That had echoes of Qui-Gon. Because
I wonder if Maul felt that too.
I don't think back to Tanks bringing him back.
Yeah,
well, I don't think he did, to be honest with you, because after we find out that they're there to kill him, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
So then episode 8, what was that one called?
I don't know. I thought it was the hunt for something, but I'm like, no, that was late. Yeah, that was before.
The Night of the Hunted or whatever it was.
That was like the last couple.
Episode 8, name I can't recall, and I can't look it up on my phone because that's what we're filming on. Episode 8, Maul we see that end part again where they tell him, there is no surrender for you. The Emperor wants you dead. And he's like, feelings mutual or likewise or whatever it is. He knows. He's telling them, I want.
As do I or whatever.
So then he does this cool force power thing where he pulls parts of the roof down on them, and then he jumps or whatever. And so they got to go one way. He goes another way. His team of course gets away because why not?
That was very
rushed.
Probably, I think,
because we didn't see where they went.
That is, I believe, the worst part of the show so far.
And all of a sudden, there's 2 more transports.
Because we know they were surrounded by stormtroopers closing in, and then we cut to them, and all of them are fine in a different tunnel, completely away from the Empire, without being chased.
And they have the period of calm where they can look out over everything and be like, oh, there's all the Imperial guys we just got away from. Oh, I don't see Maul anywhere. And now they're taking off with the Inquisitors. And so the only thing they were able to do, and I think I forgot to mention this, is capture Riley. And really, who cares?
Yeah.
So aside from what was going on with Maul and the Imperials, and I'm not even sure if this happened in episode 7 or 8, Devin catches back up with Daki and Lawson.
That happens in episode 8 because this is after Riley got captured.
Okay, yeah. So they're in the tunnel where Lawson assumes that they would have got the only place they could have gone, and he didn't know that Maul was there. So Devin catches up, and Daki's like, well, who else was with you? And she doesn't say, oh, we were hanging out with Maul. She's just like, oh, that doesn't matter. We got to go get the kid because I got him captured.
Because Daki knows that it was Maul.
Of course he does. He can sense the dark side. I think he can sense Devin slowly pulling away from him, which is funny because Maul was like, oh, she's going to be pulled to her teacher or whatever. And I don't know. You can feel this like tug of war going on with her. It was cool too because in episode 8, we're doing this jailbreak thing. And Daki turns to Devin and he's like, go get us some transportation. And I'm like, that's hilarious. Because when this whole thing started, he was telling her, oh, we're not going to steal. We're not going to fall into our basic instinct. Now he looks at her and says, go get us some transport. He's like, yep, I'm authorizing it. Go steal something. And if he had done that back in the beginning and helped her steal that Mularon fruit or whatever those things are called, he would have got. She wouldn't have got captured. They'd be fine right now. You know. So I don't know. It was. I enjoyed that Two Boots is now questioning the Imperial side of things.
I would say not. I wouldn't say questioning at this point.
He's seeing what's happening. He put his. I wouldn't say life because they're not really alive, right? Or can they die? I don't know.
They can die.
All right. So he's putting his life on the line to get.
I think they have chips.
And he starts shooting at. He starts shooting at Imperials. He gets a couple down.
But of note, he only uses stun.
It did look like the stun setting, didn't it?
It is.
But that is
the
not
blue circle.
That is not what Lawson. It wasn't when Lawson was shooting.
No, he's shooting bolts.
And I think the Jedi killed a couple.
They're like deflect and stuff.
Right, but I mean, she ran over a couple of guys. We know one.
Well, that's all hovering. That's not. You don't run over anyone.
But we know that armor is not great.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And she smacked into a bunch with that thing going pretty fast. And
then she hit a bike.
When he threw the rocket cycle up into that was really cool.
That was awesome.
The escape scene. That was the best part of episode 8.
Yeah,
easily.
And so there's a chase through the streets because her thing that she stole is really
probably inspired by Solo, but this was done
better. So there's this chase through, and so there's this the AT whatever transport.
Yeah, the troop transport from the Clone Wars.
LAATs. Yep. LAATs transport ships, transport ship and coming, and has way better firepower. Oh, yeah. So she turns the thing sideways and opens the side. Docky pushes one of the
slides one sideways.
Slides one sideways to crash, and then takes the other one.
Smashes he
pushes it up, and it flies over them into the.
That was awesome.
Cockpit of the LAAT
and explodes,
and then they drive away.
Definitely a dead stormtrooper or two.
3, probably 3.
Yeah, because then it lands on the ground and blows up.
Where the other one would just flipped over.
And what happened was, to backtrack just a little bit, their plan was, Lawson calls Two Boots, and at first Two Boots won't answer, and he's trying to hide the.
Oh my god, what's your name?
Then Two Boots is like, he picks up the thing, he's like, what's going on? He's like, I'm going to trade me for my son, meet us at the loading dock, switch us out, and he's like, oh, that's not he's like, I don't care about protocol, do what's right. And that's where I think Two Boots actually starts thinking, oh, yeah, do what's right. So he does that. Lawson still doesn't realize that they're not escaping. He's like, okay, I got to go with Two Boots now. And then Two Boots turns around and shoots 2 more imps that are running out the door. And he's like, oh, yeah, that's not what we're doing.
Yeah, deal's off.
Like, we got to get out of here. So then the thing happens, and they're going to Lawson's contact's ship.
Rena,
the blue chick.
Shield, something.
Shields, maybe. I don't know.
Something with an S.
The cool-looking blue chick who probably died.
Like bluish indigo, yeah.
We thought she was dead already because we didn't know what had happened to her. She calls, says, "Oh, I got a ship," and then so they're going, and we almost have I got a bad feeling about this moment.
I feel like we
do, but they don't say that, and it's no, and you don't hear.
It's like when something's not right. Yeah,
we're moving away from the tropes, but we're
but it'd be funny. It'd be great.
Yeah, but I'm glad that they're not depending on fan service for this. They're just saying this is a good show, so we're gonna do our own thing. And so they're going in an elevator, and they're like, "Oh, this isn't working right. Something's going on." And they call her. She gives the clue because she says, and as soon as we heard that, we knew something was up. And then they show us, "Oh yeah, something's up," just in case you weren't paying attention when you heard the story, and that was Candlelore was a bad thing, so you knew you wouldn't want to go back there.
Yeah, Lieutenant Blake.
So they zap a hole in the top of the elevator. They get out of the elevator, all of them. And when the 2 Inquisitor guys open up the elevator door, there's nobody there, and you see the top of the elevator sitting there. They look up, there's a big hole, and then all of a sudden, It's
so cool. She elbows the guy behind her. Takes his gun. It's
his whole arm.
His whole arm.
Like she doesn't.
And then it's like a first-person view where it spins around, shoots like 4 people.
Yeah, it was freaking cool. And then she shoots.
She turns
had a perfect chance to shoot Blake. Doesn't do it. She shoots the active engine instead.
But the engine is above Blake's head, and then it blows up the entire thing.
Yeah, the whole thing explodes.
So it kills Blake.
Presumably, Blake is dead. She is dead. All those imps are dead. But we know that the Inquisitors aren't going to be dead. That's not.
But they were the farthest ones away, and they were by themselves.
They were also by the elevator. They could have jumped up that hole.
Yeah.
So we don't know how they got away, but we know they got away. We don't know what the plan is for anybody, except we switch back, and right at the end now, we switch back to Maul's team.
And they're now in Demas's office.
Yeah, and she's like, "What are we doing here? This is where they're gonna look." He's like, "This ain't where they're gonna look. I killed this guy. They're gonna look at my office." And he's
a great impression.
It was. He's on the phone, and he gets his communique. She's like, "Dude, they're listening to communication." She's like, "I got this.
I'm a smuggler."
It's
encrypted.
We're encrypted. Don't worry about this stuff. So she's like, she gets all ticked off because she doesn't like not being in control. She doesn't like depending on this guy. She hates this guy. She wanted to kill this guy back way long time ago. So he walks over to Maul and he's like, "I just got an interesting call."
He's like, "The Pikes?"
And he goes, "No. Crimson Dawn." And then he says,
Dryden Voss would like a meeting.
And it's like, whoa, that's cool, because those of us who've seen Solo,
the 5 of us,
we know that Dryden Voss is the public face of Crimson Dawn, who's actually working for Maul.
Except this will now be making that connection, presumably.
Right. So now we know how Maul's going to get off planet, because Dryden Voss has a lot of pull, and with the smuggler routes, I'm sure Maul will get off. Whether or not he's taking Devin with him, it still remains to be seen, because we've got a team of bad guys, we've got a team of good guys, we've got the Emperor, the Imperial guys trying to round them both up, thinking they're on the same side. And both teams, one team now has an idea on how to get away, but Maul... Okay, 2 things. In the beginning of episode 8, Maul kind of throws this weird... And the way they film it is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that it's there annoys me, because he's got this moment where it just seems like it's just there to fill in the gaps for the fans. And it's like, we already know this stuff. Yes, and yes, I can understand that Maul is kind of doing the Sith meditation thing, where he's just trying to make himself angry. So he's bringing up these old memories. I mean, the first thing, it sort of comes on without him trying the first time, because he looks in the puddle and he sees his reflection from when he's a little kid. He's like, "Oh, I hate you." And
if you don't know what I'm talking about, because you're not explaining what you're mad about at all. Okay. Maul is like walking back from where he fell. There's like this dust storm kind of thing, and he's seeing like flashes of memories in the. So he's seeing himself as a young.
To be honest, I'm not sure if that dust storm's really happening, or if that's his rage in his mind, and so it's bringing up.
That would make more sense to me, to be honest.
Yeah, because then it's kind of like he is in a meditative state.
So we see like him and Savage as like little kids being taken by Palpatine.
Yep.
Then we see
some of the training.
We hear the him being dead with Obi-Wan and all that stuff from Phantom Menace.
He yells Kenobi.
Yeah,
with that awesome scream. I mean, Sam. That's why I like how it's filmed. Yeah. And you hear it, and it's so cool, because Whitmer is just so good at being Maul.
Yeah.
And when you hear him, Kenobi! I mean, it's awesome.
That was a terrible impression.
But I can't do it. I'm not Sam Whitmer. He's the voice dude. But he's awesome. I don't want to say that the performance was excellent. It's just, I didn't feel like we needed it, because Maul's survived on hate for years. This is what it kept him alive when he was cut in half. It kept him alive when he became that centipede thing. It kept him alive when he lost his brother. We know he lives like the dark side lives within him. Hate and rage has kept him alive. It's all he lives for is this sense of revenge. Which again, when he dies and he's in Kenobi's arms and he's finally able to let go of that sense of revenge, that's why he's like, "Oh, it will avenge us." But I didn't think we needed it there. It bugged me. It wasn't the worst part of the episode. But, I mean, like I said, I like how it's filmed. I was just like, do we need this? This just seems like it's there to fill in gaps for us. And it's like him thinking in his head, it's like, oh, hey, remember all this? And we do. We know that Maul's badass. We know why he is the way he is.
And so the other scenes that we see are, like, Maul as the spider creature.
Yeah.
Like, going crazy about the Sidious. And then we see Savage dying. And then that's, like, the last scenes.
I think we hear more, though, because he talks about his world, he talks about his mom.
He says, "I've lost my world, my family, and my brother," which we just were showed all of that.
Right, and he's like, "I will never let this happen again, or this won't happen, or whatever it is. I'll make sure it doesn't happen to somebody else."
Yeah. So I have a question for you, because if you guys couldn't tell by the faces I was making, I don't agree in the slightest with what you're talking about.
Okay.
Have you ever been angry?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't live my life for revenge. I'm not a dark side
Okay,
user.
that's cool. That wasn't where I'm going with this. Okay. So, you know how when you're angry, and like, let's say it's been an hour, and you're like not as angry anymore?
That's not how this works for him.
And then stop. And then you're like, why was I angry? And you think about it, and then you get angry again, and you get like more, and you get angry again because you're remembering what was going on. No. So that's the same with hatred. It's still always present. It's still always there.
It never goes away for him.
I'm not saying it goes away. I'm saying it's not in the focus. When it was all he had to survive, and he was a spider creature. That was all was in his head was hatred, hatred, hatred. Now it's more methodical. He has a functioning cerebral cortex. He can think. He can plan. He can do all these things. So he's not focusing on rage, revenge. He's planning out like a 50-step plan on how to get revenge.
Right.
So it's more in the abstract concept, not in like the full focus kind of thing. And like that focused thinking on my revenge makes him more angry, makes him more pushed to go.
See, if you want to convince me that works. If you want to convince me that this is needed, then just say it's how he's getting through the pain in his leg. It's how he's making the broken leg work. I mean,
where I'm going with this, the focusing is how he's pushing through the pain of what's going on, how he's getting forward.
I don't know.
That's why when he's collapsing at the end, and then he sees the reflection again, and he's like, I will never let this happen again.
But he doesn't.
And then he stands up and starts walking,
right?
And he's walking fine without any limp.
But he doesn't even. Oh my God. He doesn't even focus on the two guys he's mad at now. The guy who hurt his leg, and he's just
because he blames the Emperor for them. They even say the Emperor said this.
Well, then why is
they're his messengers?
I don't know. To me, the hatred of the Emperor should override everything else all the time anyway. So I don't know. It just felt like it was thrown in there.
I feel like you are annoying. Okay. I feel like no one is going to agree with you.
That's fine. Like I said, these were this is still. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying of the 8 episodes we've seen, these were the worst 2. There's a lot of gaps that shouldn't. It was like, what's going on here? It feels a little rushed, especially the battle with the imps, and then Maul, and then they slow everything down to have this whole exposition dump from Maul's brain, and it's like, I don't know. I like this show. I like it very much. I don't want to sound like I'm coming.
On that note of wonderful positiveness, I'm going to revamp my list I gave from the previous video, of the top 4. Because I was going up to where Maul was. My list is now Empire Strikes Back and then Maul.
Okay.
Upon further thinking about it, and like we're looking at the episode list because of it, like season 5, which I said was higher than Maul, because there's a lot of like not good episodes. Not bad, but like weaker episodes. Right. I think that's the season that has like the droids with like the little guy, and it's Gregor, and it's like, I don't care. That was so boring.
There is a lot of filler in the Clone Wars.
When I watched that for the first time, I almost stopped watching the Clone Wars. I almost completely checked out.
There was a lot of filler episodes in Clone Wars, but you got to remember too, Clone Wars was originally designed for younger kids.
Yeah, for sure.
It didn't stay that way. Yeah. It didn't stay that way. It got really good really fast. It was like,
but it stayed on Cartoon Network still the whole time.
That's true, but it was never like that. What was that? The other Resistance. It wasn't like that. It was geared toward little kids.
Well, that was for the Disney Channel.
Right. It geared toward little kids, stayed for little kids.
Same with Rebels, too. Rebels also was for little kids.
Nah, I don't know. I really loved Rebels from the beginning.
I loved Rebels, too.
Dark.
But Rebels, not that dark. The darkest thing is Kanan's sacrifice.
Well, the Inquisitor stuff was kind of scary. The idea, I mean, they were, and if you want, I mean, the kid shows us that. What's that new one that they have from the High Republic with Yoda training the little kids?
That's for Disney Junior. That does. They
can't
be like.
That's a lot.
You can't compare that to Disney XD. That's a different. Don't even. People are going to hate you for doing
Star Wars cartoons. You're saying that Rebels was made for little kids. It wasn't.
No, because
the show was made for little kids.
Okay, that channel. Though you cannot compare.
Whatever.
Disney XD to Disney Junior. You don't compare those two channels.
Young Yoda.
Don't compare those. Don't.
Okay. Anyway.
People are going to be so mad at you in the comments if anyone cares about this.
When you're talking about Disney animation, you throw in everything. You throw in Resistance, which was...
That was for Disney XD. You can compare those two shows. Okay. You can't compare Disney Junior is for 3-year-olds.
Yeah.
Disney XD was for the bracket who didn't want to watch Mickey Mouse, but didn't also want to watch high school shows because they weren't like 15-year-olds.
It seemed like the language, the storylines, it seemed very.
It was for like
parents were killed.
It was for like
people disappeared.
Oh my god! Can you stop talking for 10 seconds?
Yeah, it just seemed like
it was for like tweens and like early like younger teens.
Right.
Is what that age bracket's for.
Okay. I mean,
you don't compare those two channels. This is a stupid argument. What are we even talking about? Talking about Maul. I like Maul.
Talking about Clone Wars.
I thought Maul was good. Maul was very good, and you're wrong about everything. So
Maul is great. And if you recall, I had Maul way up in my order before.
Yeah.
But like these 2 episodes, I'm hoping that next week is going to be the big payoff. And again, it's like there's so much that they still have to tie up. You know, Docky's got to die. He's already calling her Devin the apprentice, but because she's he's not saying my apprentice yet. But he feels destined that she's going to work with him. And I think I'm kind of hoping she does. I like the idea of Devin.
I've got a few questions for you. So I am now of the opinion with this Dryden Voss being set up that this was a planned 2-season show.
Really?
Or a planned at least more than 1 season show.
Because there's too much.
There's too much to tie up right here. So
I want to see how he becomes involved with Chris
so the question, I guess, is where do you see this season ending? And then also, do you think there's possibility that the finale is a longer episode? Like 40 minutes to an hour opposed to 24 minutes to 30 minutes.
Well, they're still doing 2, right? We got 9 and 10.
9 and 10. I'm saying, do you think episode 10 could be longer than a normal episode?
So you think they might give us an hour and a half of Star Wars next week?
I am hoping for that.
I would be down with that. That'd be cool. Is it likely? I don't think so.
Is it possible?
It's possible, but I don't think it's well, I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't watch a lot of. I'm not plugged into Disney Plus enough to know what's on after Maul, and we haven't. Maul, we watch Maul and we come to this. We don't even watch. Plus, Disney Plus doesn't have like a time thing. It's not like regular TV. You can watch your stuff whenever you want. It's like, oh, hey, we're releasing this on this time.
No, it recommends stuff. And every time we've been watching, we keep recommended The Acolyte.
That's annoying.
Okay.
We are watching one of the greatest shows.
The greatest.
That Star Wars has put out.
The greatest.
And at the end of it, they recommend we watch that piece of crap, the worst thing that they've put out. It's like, dude, I mean, give me a cartoon show. Say, watch this episode of Clone Wars where you see Maul and his brother, which was referenced a lot in this. Or watch Resistance, which is also not good, but is better than freaking The Acolyte. We were watching animation and they're giving us live action. I mean,
do you want to know how
where they have the Inquisitor, or Rebels where they bring out the Inquisitors?
Do you want to know how the algorithm works there? Because it'll explain all of that.
Okay.
Because it's not gauged to what it's suggested. If you wanted that, you could back out of the show and go to the suggested tab. What that's gearing you for is you're in Star Wars. So now, okay, in our Star Wars thing that we're currently doing stuff, in our original Star Wars shows what you're watching, what is our least viewed thing? And that's The Acolyte by a ton.
Oh, yeah.
And so they're trying to boost up those numbers. I recommended that after. You could go watch I will bet money. If you go watch anything Star Wars right now, a movie, a TV show, anything, it'll say, do you want to watch The Acolyte next?
I see. Anyway.
Actually, movies, it might say, like, do you want to watch the next movie? But if you're watching, like, Episode 9 or Rogue One or Solo, it'll probably say The Acolyte.
Okay. Well, no, I don't.
Because that has the least traction to it.
I watched all of it. I did. I'm not a hater.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it.
I am not one of those, what do they call them, toxic Star Wars fans? I'm not a toxic Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. But I hated The Acolyte. I really did. It had nothing to do with the fact that it was about a girl either, because there are girl characters in Star Wars that are really, really good.
Sabine, Ahsoka, Devin now, Padme, Leia.
Who's the one from the new
Senator
trilogy?
Chuchi.
The new trilogy. Mon Mothma. I mean, she was
Mon
awesome.
Mothma.
But who's the one from the new trilogy with the badass helmet who gives...
I know who we're talking about.
The
chick episode 9.
Yeah, she was awesome. And we only saw her for like
Zori Bliss.
Yes, we saw her for what, like maybe 3 minutes. I mean,
maybe a little
she got almost as much screen time as the Knights of Ren, but she was way cooler, and I wouldn't mind seeing a spin-off show about her. She's a cool character.
Her and Poe could get a show. That'd be good.
That'd be neat, but I don't think Isaacs is coming back.
They could get an anime TV show and give it a voice actor.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of that, now if we're getting an animated Dryden Voss, Paul Bettany.
Yes, I think he will. He's doing work for Disney. I mean, Vision Quest is coming, right? So they've got him in a booth somewhere doing work, or they had him in a booth somewhere doing work. How hard would it have been to give him, hey, do some Dryden Voss?
Has he ever been a voice actor?
Yes.
In what?
The Avengers.
Oh. Wait, no.
Yeah.
No, he's in makeup. He's doing that.
He was Jarvis before he was Vision.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He was Jarvis for the first, 2 phases?
2 movies.
2 phases.
4 movies.
All of Iron Man.
4 movies.
Plus the Avengers.
4.5 movies.
Plus the Avengers Age of Ultron for a big chunk of it.
Half.
You know? And then
5.5.
Right,
4.5.
And then it goes to Friday.
Iron Man
is gone.
1, 2, and 3. Avengers 1, and then half of Avengers 2.
There you go. So yes, he's
so
been a voice
4.5
actor.
Films.
So yes, he's been a voice actor.
But a very, very minor role.
Minor? Dude, it's Iron Man's armor.
Yeah.
The AI that ran his house. The AI that was always, there was Dummy and there was Jarvis.
When you think Iron Man characters, your brain does not go Jarvis.
Oh, I don't know.
You're a liar. If you say it does, you're lying.
But see, I watched
Tony.
Agent Carter.
You go.
So when I watched Agent Carter, we saw who Jarvis was based on. He was Tony's dad's
butler.
Man Friday. I mean, it was cool. I mean,
Man Friday. It was his butler.
Yeah, but it was more than just his butler.
Butler and driver and friend and all that.
And it was kind of like this British dude who was part of the armed forces at some point in time and this huge.
It's his Alfred. It's Alfred.
It's Alfred. Yes, it was his Alfred. And then he becomes the AI guy who,
But worse.
Yeah.
Because it just copied Alfred.
Nobody's going to be Alfred.
Alfred's the best.
But anyway.
Why are we not talking about Alfred?
Because Paul Bettany.
Okay.
So yes, I think you could have Paul Bettany do the voice of Dryden Voss with no problem.
Do you think they will do that?
I hope so. Why do we need a new one?
I don't know. I know it'd be cool for sure. I just don't know.
But
if do
again,
it.
I guess it depends on how much you're going to use Dryden. If he's just like in this show, then sure. But if they suddenly make Dryden Voss a big part of season 2, they might have to cast an actual voice actor because, like I said, Paul Bettany's busy with Vision Quest. That show's got to be
happening?
It's happening. They keep talking about how it's the end of the trilogy. It's supposed to come out before Doomsday.
The trilogy has taken like 8 years to come out and nobody cares about anymore.
A lot of dude. They're gonna have. It's supposed to tie into the Champions in some way.
The who?
The Young Avengers. Sorry, I thought you were up in all the Marvel stuff. But
I have.
We need to
really
stop.
checked out.
We need to stop. Go back to
Star Wars.
Maul. Yes.
Is wonderful.
And Dryden Voss is a minor character in Star Wars, so maybe they'll think that.
Do you think we could then see Kira? I think
I don't know, because
that would
again,
depend when the opening of Solo takes place.
Yeah, I don't know where the timeline is right.
We are obviously before like mainline Solo.
I think Solo, yeah. Well,
but
plus,
the opening of Solo
the movie, there's like a 5-year jump when he's.
I'm talking the jump is what I'm talking about. Is when the getting off the planet. We are end of like most of that movie.
Okay.
We're before most of that.
Okay.
We are.
I don't know.
I don't know if we are before all of it.
Because the beginning part on Corellia feels a lot like this show.
Yeah.
So maybe it is that time frame. I don't know. And Kira got busted at the beginning of that show. We don't know what happened to her in that 5 years in between. But at some point in that time, it could have been the first year. At some point in there, Dryden Voss ended up with her as his agent property. I don't know what the hell she is. Because they don't even really explain that in the show. She works her way up to his second in command. But that's a pretty strong term to use for Solo, to be honest with you. Movie.
Film. It feels better.
Okay.
So never mind. It feels worse because it feels like it's calling it better than it is.
It would have been a really good TV show.
I don't know.
there were a lot of problems. But again,
it would have been way better
we're not talking about
if
that.
it wasn't Han Solo.
We do know that Maul ends up in that. And that could be what the second season is all about.
It would have been a really good story if there wasn't Han Solo in it.
See, there was... We don't want to talk... Well, one day we'll do a breakdown of Solo. It's not going to be now.
Why? Okay.
Because you have to watch it again to soak it in so we can really have a talk.
Why do we need to break down a bad movie?
Well, you're saying...
Okay, fine.
I liked Enfys Nest.
I like the characters showed up on screen for 5 minutes because they look cool.
Well, no, it's because that's where the start of the rebellion idea is. At the end of... I mean, do you remember the end of that movie? Did
I watched that movie once. I've watched it all. He shoots Woody Harrelson at the end.
Okay. Beckett, by the way. That's his
okay.
name. That's who you thought was coming, and instead we're going one step above. We're going to remember last week we said who might show up in the show.
Yeah, and I thought Beckett.
I gotta say, I did not expect the sixth
want Woody
brother.
Harrelson.
I didn't expect the sixth brother.
Not at all.
It wasn't even on my list of top 10 of who would show up. I really thought the Emperor was going to step in. We knew it wasn't going to be Vader.
Like, yeah, see, I thought that was crazy. I didn't think there was any chance the Emperor was going to show up.
He showed up the last time he had to take out Maul. He killed Savage.
Yeah, and if he showed up again, he would have killed all of them.
Yeah, well, that's probably true.
He would have killed Lawson. He would have killed Devin. He would have killed Docky. He would have also killed Maul.
Hey,
that was a silly thing to say.
Who do you think is going to make it out of the series this season?
This season, Devin for sure, Maul for sure, Icarus for sure.
Really?
They made a big point of the brother dying. They won't kill the other brother, at least right now in this season. I don't
know. It could be one of those revenge suicide things where that could be how Merrick goes down.
That'd be cool. Okay, fine. Not Icarus.
I mean, there's a chance.
Okay, so genuinely. I think Maul, obviously.
I hope Cass makes it out.
Devin will make it out. Riley will make it out.
I really liked the conversation that Cass and Maul are having when Cass is like, hey, some of the mercenaries, because they have to leave the money.
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, some of the mercenaries might become a problem. When you have a mercenary band, if they're not making profits, alliances can shift. She's like, since you're the leader of Mandalore, since you got the blade, I follow you, no question. Which, that's not true, because she
questions everything.
But
in like a good way.
Her loyalty is unquestioned.
Except I question it every single time.
I think she's secure enough in her position where she wants to. That's her job, to make him think about what they're doing, think about the consequences of what they're doing, make sure that what they're doing is what they should be doing. I don't think she would ever work against him. And I think she proved that tonight. Yeah. And especially when they were like, oh, well, we'll see you, lady, because they even knew she wasn't going to help with their mutiny. And when Maul's even like, maybe we should take care of him. She doesn't say, oh, we better not. You know, I mean, she cautions like this, but she doesn't look at him aghast, like, how could you talk about killing my brothers or my family or my people? None of that. She recognizes they're mercenaries, and their loyalty is toward money.
But okay, so out of the season, I mean, again, Maul. Okay, let's go.
Is Dawson gonna make it?
Well, let's go. I want to go through the Maul characters first. Let's go through like the
Maul's gonna get out.
Bad guys first. Maul's gonna get out. Vario's gonna get out.
You think?
I think so. Icarus, again, I think so, because I don't think they're going to kill both brothers.
Okay.
Cast, probably,
to be honest with you, I'm surprised that Vario has lived this long.
I find him a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
His voice is the only one that, like, bothers me and stands out.
He is the most alien of that team, though.
Well, he's the smuggler connection to everything.
Right, but
he's that connection, so I think
Maul
he's the alive.
has the pikes. Maul knows the business. And when he said Dryden Voss wants to see you, Maul didn't seem surprised as who's Dryden Voss. So once Vario sets that up, they don't really need Vario. Vario is kind of
redundant,
slimy though, so he could squeeze through and.
I could see. I think he's gonna survive.
Okay.
Because
you already said Talon, or I'm sorry, Devin. Even though we were talking about. Okay. First, you said Devin's gonna make it.
So then we have 3 unnamed mercenaries, which I mean they can go, they don't have to go, whatever.
I don't think Maul's team's gonna get much smaller.
Yeah, I don't think they can get
because
much smaller.
He's going to make a power play inside the organizations, he can't just rely on the Pike.
Yeah,
he's going to need some of his own. And
so
I'd like to see more. I'd like to see some mercenaries from the Clone Wars make appearances here.
I think
like Endo or whatever.
Embo,
he's awesome.
He's going to be in Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Oh, really? Okay, so he probably won't be here then.
He's going to be in the movie with a new dog.
The dog things.
Because his other one died of old age in like between, but got a new one. But no, I that's a good point. I don't think Maul's crew is probably done. I think we culled their stuff already, so I think we're probably good there.
Yeah.
So then the good character, which is where I think is the more interesting to talk about.
I think Docky's got to go.
Devin, let's easy ones. Devin and Riley are gonna make it out.
See, I don't even care if Riley does.
I don't care about Riley, but they're not gonna kill a kid, and they already went through so much effort to get the kid back twice or what 3 times now, whatever. It's whatever. They're not gonna then kill him off.
What about his dad? His dad was willing to sacrifice himself for his kid tonight. Is he going to make it off the planet, or does he have to leave the planet? Are they gonna stay behind?
I think every character that we've talked about so far is going to be in season 2 if they don't die in season 1.
Well,
so yes.
No kidding. If they don't die in season 1, they'll be back in season 2.
Yeah. Well, no. If you said, they stay behind the planet. If they stay behind the planet, then they're not going to be season 2.
Okay, I see what you mean. And that's.
I think the season's going to end with everybody who's alive getting off the planet.
Okay.
I don't think we're going to be on Janix.
Okay.
It's come season 2.
So Janix is not coming back.
I mean, like, maybe, but it won't be a whole season on the planet. For sure.
So
we need more exploration. So I think
that could make sense, because if Lawson and his son both get out, then in season 2 they might turn to his mother to hunt them down. That could be an interesting storyline.
With Lawson, it will either be, either Lawson is gonna sacrifice himself, or Two Boots will sacrifice himself.
Yeah, I don't care about Two Boots.
I think one of those, but they're partners. One of those two will sacrifice himself for the other. I think.
Oh.
I think Lawson will do it for Two Boots and Riley.
No.
And
Lawson would do it for Riley. He wouldn't do it for Two Boots.
Well, if they're together, it'll look like they're both. And Two Boots will do it for Lawson and Riley.
I think Two Boots would do it for Riley. He showed that now. And I think he feels bad that this whole thing is his fault now. So he might owe Lawson. I do not think that Lawson would be willing to sacrifice himself for Two Boots. I just don't.
They're partners. We haven't seen them work together a ton in the show, but they have known each other.
We just saw Lawson allow his ex-partner to blow herself up. And Lawson talked today. This was a reveal that I do want to mention. Lawson talked about working with a Jedi before. So when would that have happened? That would have happened during Clone Wars.
Clone Wars.
So we don't know where Janix was in the whole Clone Wars thing. We don't know.
He wasn't part of Janix in the Clone Wars.
So
he was a mercenary during the Clone Wars. We know that he was a mercenary.
So
he was a bounty hunter
working with the Jedi. That's weird.
No. He worked with a Jedi at some point in time.
Okay.
He was not on the Republic payroll.
Okay.
At least,
sure.
I mean, I'm not sure, but saying I worked with the Jedi before and then being like he was working for the Jedi, that's a different thing entirely.
Okay. See, I was thinking he might have been part of the military a little bit, because if he was in law enforcement already, we don't know how long he's been doing this.
He was a bounty hunter during the Clone Wars. We know that. He said that.
Well,
he said mercenary, which is the same thing.
Okay.
Embo was a bounty hunter.
I know.
Who worked with Jedi in the Clone Wars.
Or against Jedi occasionally.
And against Jedi in the Clone Wars. But we saw that, but I wouldn't say Embo ever was on the Republic payroll.
Okay. It would have been interesting for him to say which Jedi. I kind of wanted him to. I was like, do we know his tie? Do we know who he's talking about? Because it was cool that he said, I never believed what they told us about the Jedi. I never believed the Jedi betrayed the Republic. I never believed. So he's not buying into the propaganda. And we know he doesn't appreciate the Empire. So there's something more to his story. And I think that he has to live through this season, because I think we need to hear more of that story. And I don't think that 2 episodes next week is going to be enough.
And I think that story ends with the divorce between him and his wife.
I think so too. And so that's why I think it would be really cool if in the second season his wife is somehow
I hope she becomes an actual character. I think I'm interested in her stuff.
I want to know.
I want to know what she does. I want to know everything.
I'm more interested in their backstory than I am in her currently. I want to know what caused her to leave.
I would agree with that statement. We also got confirmed. We got confirmed that Chief Kleiss is dead.
Yeah, well, I didn't see it. He's like, "Don't you know that the chief is dead?" He's assuming the chief is dead. I'm assuming the chief is dead. We saw the claw marks on the table.
Yeah,
those were her fingernails.
I had said either dead or was like in prison or somewhere, like reassigned or something.
Well, kind of like what we saw in Andor when they sent everybody.
Didn't watch it.
You really should. Really
I watched the first 3 episodes and then I got not bored, but they were long episodes and I couldn't monopolize Disney Plus any longer, and that's where I had access to it.
It's one of the greatest Star Wars things that's out there. It really is.
Yeah, well, you watched without me, and then I couldn't watch with anybody. I couldn't watch it with anybody else because nobody else wants to watch it.
Yeah, but it was really good, and season 2 was amazing too. But when we're talking about this show, I think the only one I'm almost positive Dockie's gonna die
in this season,
and she's gonna feel responsible for it. Maybe Riley will even feel responsible. You know, it'd be interesting if we find out that Riley is a Force user that we didn't know about, and Devin isn't the apprentice. Riley ends up being the apprentice. Wouldn't that?
That'd be dumb. That would piss me off.
That would be a Rebels level.
Yeah, but that's annoying. Just like a thing that, like, I feel like that's the kind of thing that, like, they do all the time.
Right.
To be like, ooh, the fun misdirect. It's like,
that would be
not a misdirect because you do this all the time.
That'd be where Rian Johnson would take this show. Thank God he's not involved.
Rian Johnson would have killed Dockie in the first episode.
Probably.
No, he would have had Maul kill Dockie and then been like, now Devin's going to be the apprentice. And then he would have killed off Lawson when he got interrogated the first time.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as good.
It would be bad.
He does interesting stuff. I love his Knives Out series, but
I want to watch those.
They're good, but his Star Wars stuff was just garbage.
His Star Wars one thing, his stuff, all his stuff, his one movie where he ruined everything. Yeah. It had genuine potential, that trilogy, I feel. Yes, Force Awakens was a big copy of everything else.
It was a rehash of all the good, so it couldn't have been bad. Which is kind of where they left us like, that wasn't bad, because they did everything that they had done good already. But it was a retread, and it was missing so much.
But so genuinely, and this will piss people off because I'm saying this, but genuinely, just think about Force Awakens. Think about how that ends. You have Snoke being set up as a cool, like, who is this kind of mysterious character? Mm-hmm. You've only seen him as a giant hologram.
Well, and remember, they're like, oh, this is a Force user you all know from the original. It's like, what?
No, stop. Let me talk. And then Kylo Ren killed his dad. Like, what? That's crazy.
That was horrible.
Yeah, but he wanted to die in the first one, so.
I'm not saying you can't kill Solo. What I'm saying is the way they did it was stupid.
Yeah. And then, Finn being able to use his lightsaber was cool. Like, cool. Is he Force sensitive? He should have been, but whatever.
Again, they didn't pick it up and go anywhere with it.
Because Rian Johnson
is an idiot.
Yes. Rey had an interesting setup for a backstory. What's it going to be? What is this? Who is her family? Because at that point, it was being set up to be they are important. But we don't know anything.
In the first movie, she was already a bit of a Mary Sue. She could do everything without training.
Just being a pilot. That was all it was.
She was an awesome pilot. She could use the Force. She did the Jedi mind freaking trick.
She tried it once.
And it worked!
Yeah, she did it once.
No.
And the Stormtrooper was stupid
First of all...
And she used the Force to pull a thing to her, which is also a thing that Luke does. Luke also used the Force.
It took a long time for Luke to be able to do that.
Luke used the Force in the first movie also.
To aim.
And the first thing Luke does in Empire Strikes Back, after getting hit in the face because he had a car accident, was Force pull the saber to him.
Yeah, but he had to
understand he had years
Ben
between that
Kenobi
movie.
Walking through it.
In the Force, in Wampa's cave? No, it wasn't. In the cave with the Wampa? No, it wasn't. Not with the Wampa cave, it wasn't. Okay. Watch the movie again.
He had learned how to
Okay, you're wrong, so stop.
You're saying that Luke is just as much a Mary Sue as
That's
Rey?
Not what I said.
So, dude, don't even tell me I'm wrong.
That is, do not words about. That's not what I said.
Plus, okay, here's the problem with the first movie. I don't know how much time is supposed to have been between Return of the Jedi and this movie, But in that time, Solo and Chewbacca lose the Millennium Falcon and just happens to be sitting on Jakku for God knows how long, and they're not looking for it, they don't care. That's not going to happen. Secondly, he walks away from Leia after they have a kid. He turns into a deadbeat dad and takes off. That's not going to happen. I mean, there's serious problems with that movie
in the characterization
of the original people. Before Carrie Fisher died, they had
actually
the opportunity.
Lucas characterized fine in that movie.
No, he was not.
He wasn't a character in that movie.
He's a guy who gave up and took off. The most positive character from the original movies, the one who wouldn't even give up on his dad, the one who knew that the light side would help Vader turn back and come back to him because of love of family, decides to walk away from the entire universe. There's no way.
That's not what would have walking away. Okay, yeah, okay.
It's not what would have happened.
Except we didn't know why he walked away in that movie.
We knew he did, and Luke wouldn't. Luke would not have abandoned his sister. Luke would not have abandoned his family. Han would not have abandoned his family. The books handled that stuff way better.
What if he didn't walk away? Everyone thinks he walked away, but really he is the last line of defense because he's at the edge of the galaxy, guarding against something trying to get into the galaxy. Maybe that's what they were going to do. That's not what they did. What if that's what they did? That would have been fine. That would have been
a lot better.
So you can't say they ruined his character in the movie. They didn't.
What I'm saying is they gave up the opportunity to put the original crew back together because they're like, we want to tell stories that don't involve the original crew. I agree,
and I'm not saying that movie was good.
Look at the actors that were still around. Where was Lando and Han never had another scene together, and then Solo gets killed by his kid. It's like, dude, when he gets killed,
oh my god,
when he gets killed, Chewie just yells and screams. Finn's standing there.
And then he shoots Kylo.
And completely... I mean, they could have...
And it hits Kylo.
They could have shot the bridge and had him fall. I mean, come on. You had... Chewie was standing there with his bowcaster.
Yeah, he hits Kylo with the bowcaster. That is why the fight is not...
I'm sorry. The movie sucked, and I don't want to talk about it.
I didn't say the movie's good. It's not.
We're talking about Maul. So before we go off on our rants, we were talking about Maul here.
You just won't listen to words out of my mouth.
You're trying to defend the
I'm not.
Trilogy.
You won't listen to me. So whatever. We can move on. You don't want to listen.
Episode 8 of Maul, at the end, we now have a new surprise cameo coming, which I thought was amazing. They handled it well. They surprised us. It was really good.
Do you think we'll see Voss in this
I hope
season?
So. I want to. At least they could take a page from Solo and at least have the hologram version of him, like they did with Maul.
Don't do that.
Because I mean, this is animated.
What if he's not scarred?
Oh, that'd be cool. Where we get some. We don't know anything. Well, I don't know. Again, if there's Star Wars lore out there that explains Dryden Voss's backstory, I don't know.
Doubt it.
They did backstories on all kinds of people. They had a toy of the guy who's running around with the ice cream maker from Empire Strikes Back before they even had a name. The fans pick apart minute details. I mean, that's what Solo basically was. Here's the story about the dice. Here's a story about the gun. They did everything except the vest. And they saved that for Black Widow. But yeah, the idea that Dryden Voss could be almost a central character in season 2 would be pretty cool. I'd like to see those two working together. I'm kind of hoping that once Maul gets off of this planet and is away from the direct Inquisitor hunt down thing, we see some building up of his underworld stuff, and we see some of the underbelly of what's going on with the Star Wars universe. I think that's to me what I find the most interesting. That's where the potential for this show lies. And to be honest, that's why I don't care about Lawson as much. I kind of hope that the Jedi Daki ends up dead. I don't really care what's going on with Riley because we're too early for any kind of rebellion. So where are these guys going to go?
Into hiding. Part of Rebel Cell. Rebel Cells were there the entire time. They were unified.
Right.
Saw Gerrera was active the entire time.
That'd be interesting if they ended up on.
I don't think they'll go out with Saw because Saw's fanatical. But that was just an example.
Right. He's not that fanatical yet. You know, he's radicalized, but he's not.
He was fanatical in Clone Wars.
But the other rebel cells were still trusting him until he got really nuts.
Yeah. He didn't really get really nuts until Rebels when he tried to genocide all of the Geonosians.
Yeah.
Tried to wipe out that race when they were already trying to be wiped out by the Empire.
Right.
Because they knew the Death Star. But, so, those are our thoughts on Maul and adjacent media, I guess.
Yeah, we tried to keep it lighter than we did before, and I think we failed. But, whatever.
Well, you're better than the last time.
On that note, I am looking forward to next week. Next week is, to be honest, one of my favorite holidays, and we normally do a video on the 4th of July anyway. I mean,
May the 4th of July, yes, next month.
But we normally do a May the 4th. Last year we did a May the 5th episode.
Because it was for the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary.
Hopefully this year so we might have our setup a little bit different. We might sit at the other table instead of sitting here on the couch because we'll probably be surrounded by some of our Star Wars memorabilia. Maybe we'll talk about some of our favorite Star Wars stuff. No, that'd be too long. Maybe we'll do one on Monday and Tuesday. Who knows? But we definitely are going to talk about these episodes. And if the episode's an hour and a half, dude, that gives us more time to talk anyway. So, but we're looking forward to it. We're enjoying it. As you've seen throughout our conversation, we disagree on a bunch of stuff, but we both agree that we love this show. So it's something that we can do together. So we will. And it's funny. At the beginning of the episode, we were like, "Hey, I'm not wearing a Star Wars shirt. He's not wearing a Star Wars shirt." We both planned on that, but it just didn't happen. So it's kind of interesting that too, where we're in sync. Next week, we both will have, I'm sure. All right. Until then, these are the Men of the Cave signing off. And we hope that those of you who are still around, comment, like, subscribe, give us something in the comments that we can refute something,
discussion,
share
debates.
Something. Let us know if any of the questions that we brought up spark something in you. Let us know.
I want to argue with all of you. I want to argue with you guys.
We can even do something simple. Tell us your favorite Star Wars thing. Tell us your least favorite Star Wars thing. You don't have to tell us why. Just say this one sucked. This one was great. That's good enough, and then we'll go from there. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.